All right, we're live. Hold on.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for hanging in there with us while we paid some bills. Literally,
We literally were talking about that last topic even into our break right now.
Yeah, no, there's some things that go on behind the scenes. We should do like a behind the scenes show.
Nah, we should.
But pay-per-view.
There's
a lot
of things that we talk about that we probably shouldn't be talking about.
Well, that we can vet out certain individuals who we're talking about. If you think it's you, it's probably you. It's probably you. Yeah, we had. I would say that, and I keep using and purposely because I don't want dead air. And I'm trying to find the best aspect or the best
Cock, balls,
penis. The best way to go about it. I think that you and I have very different viewpoints of how to approach sales,
but the same end goal. That's what matters.
But yeah, but I think
I could work with that as a manager. I could work with somebody that I have the same end goal with. I can't work with somebody that doesn't have the same end goal.
And I think, like we were talking about, we are approaching the conversation that we had before the break regarding sales and numbers and what the spread margin might be. I think we are approaching it from two different aspects, and I think it's important that we do touch on that, is that when I'm going to a sales meeting or a pitch, let's call it a pitch, whatever the industry, the widgets that we're selling, I'm going in it from a cold calling aspect. I'm asking you for you, or I'm asking our client for their business.
Uh-huh.
So I think I have to be a little bit more lenient in the marginal spread. And I'm also looking at it from a relationship point of view, in that I'm asking you to pack up all your stuff from your house, put it in a truck, move it over to my house. I have to, I think, offer a little bit more to get that inconvenience out of you, versus somebody who is coming to you and asking you for a new house. Like, I need a new house. I have to offer that house at a little bit of a lower profit margin to convince the person to move out of the house, versus somebody who comes to you and says, I'm looking for a new house. I need a new house. Your thoughts?
I think you're just being too specific. When it comes to like sales, in my mind, I understand what you're saying. So whether you're going after business or business, like someone's showing interest in you, is that pretty much what you're getting at?
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
yes.
so like I had a conversation, I don't know if she'll feel good about me explaining this to her.
A person. Let's just say a person.
She has a business and she's having trouble getting people to sign up.
Okay.
For that business, right?
Right.
So I gave her some sales points from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they work for her industry or not, I'm not sure. I followed up with her, and oddly enough, she hasn't responded. So,
Or him.
No, it's her.
Oh.
So for those of you that are ever trying to open a business or whatever, like there's a couple rules of thumb in my mind.
Okay.
One, like, what's your end goal? Like, what are you trying to achieve?
Okay.
Like, is it a certain dollar amount? Is it a certain amount of accounts that'll equal that dollar amount, which is obviously probably the same thing, but that's just you breaking it down more. Is it, I don't know, whatever your end goal is, usually you have to do with money though, right? Secondly, it's how are you going to get to that end goal? Like, what are your
path?
Yeah, what's your process?
Okay.
And a lot of times, people can get to that point, but they don't know how to execute, okay?
Okay.
So what she was explaining to me was, she gives away like free passes to join,
The gym.
whatever,
it
right?
might be. Okay.
And then they get there. She gives them a tour,
Mm-hmm.
and then she goes, okay, and then they go enjoy their 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Gym membership.
Of gym membership, right?
Okay.
And I was like, so you don't ask them for a sale?
Uh-huh.
She's like, well, I don't know how to. And I'm like, well, like, how do you expect somebody to sign up?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad because I felt like I was talking down to her like she was like a 3-year-old little kid.
Right.
But that's literally like my mindset as a salesman is, well, how do you expect somebody to buy from you if you don't even ask them if they want to sign up?
So piggybacking off of that, and I think you're 100% right. I don't know that day one is necessarily the right day.
I disagree.
But if you're coming day two,
No.
you would go day one?
Have you ever gotten a gym membership ever?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you ever gotten those?
What kind of question is that, sir?
So,
Wow.
have you, okay, well, my second question is, have you ever gotten
The
one
free
of
passes?
those free passes?
Yes.
What's the first thing you do when you get there?
Check in.
No. Yeah, you check in, and what do they do after that?
They make you go through the physical, and then they
And
talk to you about whether you like. They basically
Do you talk to a salesman?
the pitch. Yeah.
Okay, it's the exact same thing.
Okay.
My advice to her was, go get a 3-day membership,
Okay.
go to the gym, and see how they close you.
Okay.
And if you ever go to a gym, they take you in there, they do whatever, you know what I mean? And then the guy walks you around the fucking gym, starts asking you what's called qualifying questions.
Okay.
What are your intentions? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to tone up? Are you trying to fucking bulk up? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to do this? Are you trying to... And they're asking all these questions, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what are you going to do this summer? You want to make sure you look at pool parties. Whatever the fucking thing is, right?
Gotcha.
And they sit you down, and they ask you, what do we have to do to sign you up today? These are the plans. What can we do to sign you up today? And you go, oh, no, I'm not ready. Like, what are you not ready for? I mean, did you say you wanted to bulk up? Did you say you wanted to look good at the pool party? Did you say you wanted to be more healthier? Like, we're here to help you get to that. It's only going to cost you $1 a day. Whatever fucking sales pitch they give you, right? If some, like you said, if somebody's showing up to your location, which is what her goal was,
Right.
with those free 1-week passes, she should go into closing mode right there because they have interest.
No. Yeah.
The interest is there. So that's why I say I disagree. So hold on, let me explain more, right?
Right.
So we talk about that and whatever. She's like, oh my god, like I never thought of that, right?
Mhm.
I was like, you need to get down to the point where you have a fucking laminated sheet, show somebody the rates, and then have a fucking marker and be like, okay, what's wrong? You can't pay this, and just start fucking. You're the owner, like you can do what you can fucking sell them at whatever you want to sell them at, right? I'm like, but then let's say that you're doing that and you're closing people, right? A good salesman, your closing rate should be like 20%. It actually should be like 30%, but if you're closing about 20%, it's decent, okay? Even at a just asking for the sale, you should be able to close people at 20%, okay? So I was like, so your goal should be able to bring 100 people in a month, and then from there,
Yeah. You work backwards on the number.
Yeah.
I need X number.
so you do that, you bring in 100 people, you start closing 20 people a month. 20 times 12 months is 240 people,
Mhm.
whatever, right? That should achieve whatever goal you want. Now, if your goal is to sign up 5 people a month, then whatever 20% of that number that you need to bring that in. Now, let's say you're bringing in that number. Let's say it's 10, right? And you're closing 20%, you close people a month. But the truth is, you're only closing 1% a month because you're not that good at what you do. Okay? So what you need to do is you need to start bringing in double the amount of people because you're not that great of a salesman.
Play the number.
You have to play the numbers game.
Okay.
And these are the kinds of things that, like, I think of when it comes to sales.
Right.
These are the kind of aspects. So, like, exactly the same road you were going down as far as it depends if someone's not looking versus someone is interested
Right.
is the same thing. But when it came to her case, somebody came into her building.
They're looking.
If somebody walks into your building, they are interested. The question is, are you good enough closer to get them to fucking sign up or not?
Right.
And that's what it comes down to.
And maybe I agree.
You agree with everything I fucking said?
Maybe I don't agree.
Whatever.
But here's the thing. I look at it, and maybe I'm not separating the forest from the trees.
No, you didn't shave your fucking dick. That's why.
Huh?
There's a forest next to the tree.
That's very different.
Oh, okay.
I consider that a fallen lawn.
Okay.
But like, I'm looking at it from the gym membership point of view. When I walk in on one of those like passes, I want to see the gym before, because maybe I'm the minority.
You probably are. And I don't sound to people like you. And you're Asian.
Wow, you're fucking racist.
Whoa, first off,
Racist.
I said the racist comment after I said I don't sound
that's
like
true.
you.
That's true. But like, okay, so using the gym membership point of view, if I'm walking into the gym, I want to see what the gym is about. Like, I want to go in, I want to see if you have all of the amenities, how it is, how busy it is. If you sit me down on day one, I'm automatic. I've already said no. Like, I'm not going to say no.
But you're part of that 80% that I'm not worried about.
Okay, I don't know
You
if I am.
can't, you can't sell somebody that doesn't want to be sold.
Not on day one, but I'm not saying that I don't want to.
I'm sorry. If you come day 2, you're sold.
Okay, and that's
And that's a different conversation because once you come on day 2, for me, in my eyes,
Oh, you're in.
you're signed up. It's just
You're
a
in.
matter of you putting that pen to that paper.
What you're trying to do is get all 7 days of the workout in, and then on day 8, you're going to sign up.
Yes.
And I will say, from the gym point of view, you're right. If I'm going into a gym and I have a 7-day membership and I'm willing to talk to you for 15 minutes first,
It's longer than that, but yeah.
but that's the problem for me is I know when I walk into one of those 7-day passes, I just want to get through day one and all of your, and from a consumer standpoint, I'm going to say, I'm just trying to get through all of your bullshit so I can go experience it. If my experience is good, if I enjoy the weights, the aerobics, the women's changing room, whatever it might be, then I'm coming back day 2 and I'm going to sign up, but I don't want you to charge me until I get a free week.
Which is fine.
But that's I guess I need to, as my growth as a salesperson is, start trying day 1. But I just know for me, day 1 is like,
But you gotta understand not everybody thinks like you.
You're right.
You don't understand how many impulsive buyers are out there in this world
oh, you're right.
that need you. Like, why would you want to give somebody else that money or that opportunity to close them if
Right.
you have that opportunity? Are you doing anything worse than another person? Honestly, are you?
Oh, no.
Okay.
To answer your question, no.
So why not you take advantage of that situation of that person's impulsive
Personality.
yeah, or whatever it is.
You know what's funny is, I'm going to answer that question.
Rick's the most impulsive buyer that you know.
He fucking is. Oh my god, that guy is a 35-year-old man who comes home with like drones,
Shit.
like little kid shit. But what's funny is, I'm going to answer that question is, from what I do versus what you do is a different viewpoint. A person who comes to you for sales and is impulsive and just willing to buy is a closed sale for you and you're done. For me and in what I do in my McDonald's job, it's not just one sale. It's the relationship and...
Well, so I'm not going to agree with that either, though.
But why?
Because with what I do in my industry now,
Mm-hmm.
it's way more relationship sale than selling something and never talking to the person again. I've been dealing with the same people for 13 years,
You're right.
so I don't agree with that.
But see, what I work under is a contractual obligation for you to do business with me. I don't...
Yeah, so I think my sales are more difficult because I don't have any contractual obligation.
Yours is bottom line.
They could leave me tomorrow.
Yours is bottom line.
And it's not always bottom line based. It's a lot of it relationship based, a lot of it's service based.
But my point is in
Your point's invalid right now.
okay, the aspect that I'm looking at,
Invalid.
invalid.
Invalid. I speak no English.
You speak good English. You try. It's impossible. I don't necessarily want the impulse buyer. While it's a great sale,
I'm talking about general sales in that aspect. I'm talking about like general. I understand there's a difference.
and but it is an important difference. Is that initially my clients coming over, if I get that impulse buyer, the short-term cost for that impulse buyer is on me. The long-term cost makes it profitable. If I get someone who comes over and starts doing business with my McDonald's, but stays less than a year, has cost me that relation.
No, I understand because when I sold phones, they used to say that for the first 6 months they break even, and then after that it was all profit.
So
I understand that part of it.
So the impulse buyer that comes over for you, and
Well,
not
that's
just
what,
breaking
but
even,
you're also in a contract, so they're not going to just leave. So
There's a difference.
there's a fee to them leaving.
there's a difference.
Okay, so I guess we are saying the same thing, but I'm just giving like a general sales rule to people that
Yes.
are trying to own a business.
And I'm not saying you're wrong.
Is a lot of times it's just a numbers game, and people need to play those numbers
Mhm.
and understand that this is a contact sport, baby. The more people you contact, the better it is. I learned that from Boiler Room.
Cold Chain says always be closing.
Yeah, it's true, man.
I get it.
ABC, always be closing.
I
Like,
get it.
those are fucking never been true words. Like, and closing doesn't always necessarily mean that you're like fucking trying to convince someone doing something.
Yeah.
You could just be closing the aspect of just taking care of them and showing that you care. Like all those things matter. Like I'm not a dirty fucking salesman.
Oh,
where
no.
I'm fucking just taking advantage of people.
I get it.
But I'm also gonna be opportunistic, as Jay likes to, because I would tell him that all the time. I want to be as opportunistic as possible because, fuck, man, you don't have situations come up where you can do A, B, and C and
Yeah.
make this type of money, or because a lot, D, E, F, and all the way to Z is fucking, you barely making any money. So it has to. It's like grading on a curve almost. It's like as long as my average margin is this,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna take some fucking orders at a low margin, you take some at a high margin. As long as they average out to a good margin, we're good to go.
I agree with you. I think that the problem is that, and I don't know it's a problem, and I'm not arguing with it, and I'm not saying you're wrong,
Because I didn't say anything wrong.
but there's a difference between selling widgets and like gadgets. For you, what you're selling, you get it out, you get the profit, and you're done. I'll give you an example. In banking, we have a lot of people who will bring over $100,000 and they'll put it in a CD, and we're paying them top dollar interest on it. If they bring that over, get interest from us for a 9-month period, then close it and jam, we've lost money because of the manpower that it takes to do all of the paperwork to get it open. We've paid them, and then they leave. And I see that as my impulse buyer. Somebody who comes in and is just like,
Does that happen a lot?
yeah, it happens a lot.
So people break contract and they have to.
Not contract, they just live it out to the point where they get what they want. And from a banking point of view,
Will they stop giving you money or what after that?
there's nothing profitable. You come to a bank and you give me $100,000, I'm paying you, and sure, I get to take that money and loan it out, but there's a lot of back numbers that go behind it. And if you're saying, hey, listen, this person's paying me more, this person, I have to top that rate, which means I'm at the top of the interest. I'm making the least amount of money just to get your business, and then you milk it, and then you leave. That's cost me more money because I paid you the top amount, the top interest rate, plus it's cost me manpower, and I've gotten nothing profitable back from you. So
Sounds like you guys have to restructure your contract so that when people leave, there's like a prepayment penalty or something.
legally we can. I mean, you're right. If you leave early, yes, we can make money. But once you fulfill your contract in jam, I'm that whore. You've paid me my $20. I've sucked your dick, and now you're jamming,
Well, you're a whore.
and I'm whore.
Yeah.
But if I get that,
Horse suck dick.
but if I get that relationship with you where you start bringing your friends around, and I can start making a little bit more money.
See, I don't even consider that impulse buying because they're signing a contract. People don't fucking impulse like contracts like that. I mean they do, but I mean like it's not.
And we're selling different things.
Yeah, it's a different industry, which I get that. I guess I was more talking like just sales day to day, like
Selling widgets. Selling
whatever.
widgets.
Selling yourself.
And trust me, your profit margins on the widgets are far greater than the bank's profit margins on
You just live a bigger
cash. Exactly.
That's all it is.
And so while you're making, let's say you're making,
Well, that's the reason why real estate agents make 2-3% on purchase of homes.
yeah, because it's so big.
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
and I make nothing.
and I'm not, and I
Just
don't,
kidding, I make money.
I don't detract from any of your sales approaches. If you can save a client 8%, well, shit. If I can make 8% on my money, that's a good investment. So if I'm a client and I'm saying I can take my business, my investment, and I can make 8% with Richard, that's good money. It doesn't necessarily translate apples for apples when you're taking from something where somebody's coming to you and purchasing something versus a service-oriented business. It doesn't translate all the way. But where I know that
If you're opening a business and I gave you that line or that breakdown, obviously it'd be more detailed. I'd go to way more detail on every aspect.
you can save me 10, let's just say.
Not even saving. I'm talking about you have a business, and I was like, I can help you.
End goal. Okay. I would add something. You started with what's your end goal, what's your path, or what's your process. Okay. I would put one thing, and I'm not a professional, but I would put one thing above both of those is what's your passion? Like, is this your passion, or do you just see that there's an opportunity? Because opportunity doesn't lead to success. Back in, I'm going to say 2006, 7, 8, you could have been the dumbest motherfucker in the world, but if you signed a real estate license and passed the test, you were making $100K a year backward, like being stupid. Once that market crashed, those who weren't passionate about it didn't last. They just, I've got my license, or I let it lapse, or whatever. But those who were passionate they lasted. They were the angel and patties that are on the wall.
Yeah. They
So,
the cream rise at the top and stay there.
you got to be passionate about, if you're going to start a business, be passionate about it. Don't just look for an opportunity that is or may be profitable. But that's the only thing that I would add to.
So I'm thinking about starting a
Uh-oh.
consulting business. So to answer that first question, I'd be passionate about that because I feel like that would be easy for me to convince somebody how to sell something. And I don't have to sell it myself. I just gotta sell them on how to sell it, and then when they see results, then it'll work, and then they can refer me to other people. What do you think? Oh, my bad, you're Puerto Rican.
We're not allowed to talk over each other because
Yeah,
I can't hear us.
Casey Black doesn't like when we do that. So Cold Chain Row, I've been trying for 7 years. I don't know what he's talking about. Trying to have sex with you, maybe?
I think he was talking about, what was it, the hooker?
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
probably. So here's the deal. I think I would love a consulting business.
Low overhead.
It is. And what's funny is that I had an experience with a consulting business recently. And I'm gonna try and keep it as general as possible while still trying to make sense, because I can't get a lot of it under the NDA.
That's non-disclosure agreement for those of you that don't know.
But yeah. Or who didn't see 50 Shades of Grey?
I haven't seen it.
It's funny. Okay, quick side story. Yvette wanted to watch 50 Shades of Grey, so I was like, all right, let's put it. No, this was when she wasn't on her period.
I guess that's key.
So we put it on, and so she read the books, and I think she saw some of the movie, but not all of them. But we're watching it, and he's like, "Oh," Mr. Grey starts talking about like all of the dirty things that he's going to do to her, and I sat there and I looked at her and I go, if he's got that much money, he's got to make her sign like a non-disclosure agreement, like an NDA, like otherwise he's liable for anything he does to her.
Yeah.
Next scene, he's like, this is a contract.
Ah.
Non-disclosure agreement. I was like, see what happens? Like, when you're with a businessman, we see these things. Like, yeah, I'm going to smack the shit out of your ass, but
yeah, just in case you have fucking marks on your ass.
You're going to sign that. I am not liable.
I smacked the ass before. I've told that story. Mark was left, but it's been, I think, statute of
limitations. Right. It's up. So I'm going to tell you about a consulting business that I ran into and I worked with. They came and my colleagues and I were complaining about this 7-page document that we had to fill out. It was a PDF form. It was a hassle. It was a fucking hassle. So we approached the board of directors and said, look, this has to be an automated service. We can't be filling out paperwork. We have to be able to type it into the computer and have it go on the internet or intranet so we can pull it back up. Like, this is stupid. We have to fill this out every fucking time. All we're doing is making photocopies of it. Okay. They hired a consulting business to come in and streamline it. This motherfucker, this late 20-year-old kid, came in with his shirt fucking wrinkled, which pissed me off, number one. You're gonna come into a business, iron your fucking shirt.
You know what I was thinking about right now when you talk about this? It was what I would wear to these consulting meetings.
But you're the customer, not the consultant.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, you do no, don't.
I wouldn't be the consultant. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't say I was going to dress bad. I said I was thinking about what I would be wearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Relax,
I apologize.
bro. Relax.
I'm sorry.
You're getting all fucking crazy over
You're right. I carried over my anger and I put it up on you.
How about this mid-20s little kid that didn't
I
just fucking shirt?
How many times do I apologize?
One more time.
I apologize.
Okay, you can go out.
So this zit-faced 20-year-old kid with this fucking wrinkled shirt comes in, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so we've like turned it into this Excel document." And I looked at him and I said, "So you took my 7-page PDF and you turned it into a 7-page Excel document?" And he goes, "Well, I mean, it's going to make it easier because you just do the drop downs." And so then he goes, "So we'd like to time trial it. So bring your client's 7-page document, and we're going to show you how easy it is to do on the Excel." So he times us. I'm taking information from PDF and transposing it to Excel. It took me 12 minutes. Well, as I'm sitting down with you, Richard, Mr. Customer, and I'm getting your information, it's going to take me an hour, right? Like, I'm talking to you, I'm finding out about your kids, which it doesn't go on here, but it's small talk while I'm talking. Okay, and then
As you're entering it.
as I'm entering, like, okay, Richard, okay, here's your driver's license. Yeah, I'm putting stuff in, and so you're into this, the getting to know somebody, which takes about an hour. So he goes to the board of directors and goes, yeah, it took him 12 minutes to fill out my form versus an hour, so we've saved you 75%. And I said, no. It took me 12 minutes to transpose an hour's worth of work onto this document. So really, you've cost me 25%. He was so pissed off. His company was mad. And then when they rolled it out, half of the shit was like, you couldn't use it. So like social security numbers or tax IDs, if they started with a 0, Excel couldn't identify it properly because it wasn't formatted properly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, we paid you how much money and you can't figure out how to fucking fix that? So, my point being is that I think you'd be a great consultant.
Because I can save 75% and still get paid.
Because
I
I
think you'd
think,
be mad.
but I think you would, knowing you, as much as a dick as you are from time to time, in business, honesty and transparency is vital for your success. And the bottom line, he was trying to pull one over on everybody, like, look at this time versus this time. Oh, look how great we are. Fuck you. No, it's not. Be realistic. You can't, as a consultant, you cannot come in and tell anyone that you can save them 75% of anything. Like, that's not realistic number.
I would say like 20% would be like.
Oh my God, that's
that would
a
be
great.
amazing.
You could save me 25% of ... Oh, that's amazing.
That'd be like extremely
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, I was so pissed. So when you say consultant, I know.
I'm debating it. I don't think I need a business license for that.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
We should check with our legal department.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm down if you need help.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of
I-
started this and it's been.
I would think I would need like some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. Like a map or what's
Like a guidebook or
kind of. It's not the word I'm
You'd
looking
have
for.
to pick an industry that you would primarily work from.
Yeah, but I think I would like to talk to people in general, like in general sales. General sales, like, be able to talk to people in like groups. I mean, when I say group, I'm not talking about like hundreds of people. I'm talking about like, a group of like 10 people.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you're all trying to do sales. These are like the sales tactics that I would use. And then ask them individually, like, what are your goals? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, what kind of numbers are you trying to achieve? How do you expect to get there? Like, what are you doing right now to get there? Like,
One thing that I've in banking, I don't know why in McDonald's in consulting is like this huge thing. Like every bank I've ever worked for has hired consultants to come in and help streamline this and streamline that.
Probably because like they hire someone that's been doing it for years or whatever, and they taught somebody else to do it. So like they're puppets to that person with all that knowledge.
But what's funny is you come in for like a week, and then you're immediately like, here's where we see issues. I always thought if I was a consulting company, I'm not going to give you any recommendations for 9 months. Yes, it's a long term. Yes, I'm going to charge you the same amount, but I'm going to get into that job and I'm going to watch people do it for 30 days at this level, 30 days at this level, 6 different levels.
The reason why you don't do that is because you're not going to get paid for those 9 months.
Or
if you do,
I get
you better be the best damn fucking consultant in the world, which I'm not saying you wouldn't be, but that's going to be a hefty number because you're going to almost get paid a full year's salary. And getting paid $12 an hour over the course of a year is a lot of money.
But these consulting companies get far more. So yes, you would need that first one, or you would need a investor to help you live for that 9 months, and then when you're done, boom, you get a big check that will carry you over to your next deal. But here's kind of I'll give you 2 scenarios. Scenario number 1 is consulting company that comes in and talks with your employees for 3 weeks and makes a recommendation, or consulting company number 2 who comes in for 6 months and on month 7 makes you a recommendation. I would think if they're both, all things being equal, the price that you pay.
But they wouldn't be. That's the problem though, because you're not going to charge somebody 6 months or 3 months for work, 3 months of work for 6 months of your work.
It's contractual. They come in, they say,
I know, but then you're going to have to pay those people to do that for 3 months of work for 6 months.
But it's all part of that.
I get it, but I'm saying.
Would you take 66 cents for reputationally being the most thorough?
Yeah, but you're taking
company.
50. You're taking 50.
Okay.
And you're putting 50% more time in.
You're right.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm not talking about your ideas are wrong.
But once you get your reputation into the market, then you could charge.
Now, if you
more.
could say, let's say for 6 months it's going to cost them 10 grand.
Okay.
Okay. Or I'm sorry, for 3 months it's cost 10 grand.
Yeah.
But for 6 months it's cost 15.
Yeah.
I can see paying that.
But you'd have to build the reputation to be worth the extra cost. But
you're getting extra 3 months at half the price.
You're right. No, I mean
that's how it's out. So then
Yeah.
I'll teach you how to go to these people.
But I'm looking at, you got to build that reputation first. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
you
God,
can.
Richards Consulting is so thorough. They're so good. Now, you can get some half-ass guys, or you can get Richard. He does cost more. Nordstrom's.
But you really,
is the same.
don't cost more though. That's what I'm
No,
getting at. You're costing more, but you're getting 3 more. You're getting a month and a half extra of service, and you're getting a more detailed response. So that's what I'm saying. It's not only you cost more; it's more in that they're paying you.
Right.
But they're getting 6 months of service versus 3 months.
It's the Nordstrom versus like Walmart philosophy. You can get a T-shirt at Nordstrom. You can get a T-shirt at Walmart. Which one's better? Like, what is a better store? to go to?
Probably neither.
I don't know. Nordstrom's is.
Are you talking about like a dress shirt? Or are you talking about like a white T-shirt?
I'm just saying shirt.
I don't know. Some of their T-shirts are kind of like whatever.
I'm just saying shirt. You can take back that Nordstrom shirt 6 years later. They'll take it back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
We just returned something to Costco the other day. We bought it last year in August, so they took it back.
Costco's another one. Costco's one of those places like.
Yeah, but we're not taking it back because it was being stupid. We're taking
No,
it. Actually, it was a speaker that got water in it. It's supposed to be waterproof. Made no sense.
So, given the idea of starting your own company, venturing out on your own versus going the more corporate route, watching Tiger play golf, watching.
You say watching?
Watching.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Watching.
I feel like your Asian just came out right there.
Maybe. I've been drinking most of the evening. And then watching Damian Lillard literally close out the series on a.
His face was so fucking bloody up.
Dude, when he waved goodbye, I was like, okay, that's fucking pimp. Like, I would be pissed if I was OKC, but
Russell Westbrook probably wanted to punch his ass.
that's pimp, dog. Like, I shoot that 3, buzzer beater, 37 feet, end the series, and I wait, like, bye. What can you say? Like, fuck it. That's twice. Twice he's fucking done that to us. I know you wrestle.
I did. With men?
With men. In tights, actually. With like 1 milliliter, or one millimeter separating your genitals and another man's genitals.
Sometimes from your face, too.
Really? Oh, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yes. Hey, just so you know, since we're speaking about wrestling, I know you're going to get something, but the Pan Am Games was this week in Pan American Games for wrestling. This is the first time ever that not just the United States, but any country in general, has swept that. The United States won gold in every weight class.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Way to go, America.
Yeah.
Fucking
We'll see what happens in the Olympics, but
hashtag freedom. God damn it.
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So, being as that you wrestle, and also being as that you've played softball, you played team sports before.
Yeah, I played football.
You played football?
Yeah.
Which?
Oh, when I was younger than
Oh, okay, yeah. Which one do you prefer? Individual or team? And that's, I guess it's hard, like, which one do you prefer? But
I prefer to watch team sports.
okay.
I don't know why. I mean, I can't really. I mean, watching football obviously is the number one sport, and then basketball right behind that, and baseball. But when it comes to like, I was having this conversation with Robert when I was in San Diego.
Oh yeah, Rob. Hey, thanks for making time for me while I'm gone.
He doesn't even listen to our podcast
Oh,
anymore.
fuck
so.
him. I'm just kidding.
We were talking about how, what do you want to do with the son, and like, if you want to put it in football or not, because the whole like CTE
Concussion,
and
yeah.
And I was like, you know what, I get it, man. Like, that's probably something that is definitely going to concern people as they get older, like with kids. And I was like, but when you're like individual sports like boxing or even wrestling, like there's
You got
that
concussions.
possibility is still there, right?
Did
But-
you have concussions when you wrestled?
I don't remember. I've been slammed though. Like I have
Yeah.
videos of my ass being slammed. But that conversation was really based on the fact that he was talking about how, like, he wanted to make sure because he lives in a pretty nice area.
Oh yeah.
But like he's not definitely anywhere near the
Generational wealth.
the generational wealth that's out there. Even though he lives in a good area, the kids that he goes to school with, or the kids where he teaches, or where his kids will go to school, they're gonna be around people that are fucking made of money, right?
Right.
So he's like, what do I gotta do to like teach these kids to be better individuals, better workers, better? We were talking about the whole millennial thing and all that.
Outside of the sport,
Yeah,
I'm not just coaching the sport. He's thinking I want to coach good athletes and I want to coach good.
yeah. That's one of the things he
men.
said. He said that he was at a coach's conference and that his coach was like, they were harping on, like, we're coaching these kids for after
Mm-hmm.
college because he teaches college kids to be like great men or whatever.
Mhm.
And I said, one of the greatest things that happened to me was joining the wrestling team. I was like, because I never done an individual sport before that.
Mm.
I've always been in team sports. And I'm like, once you join an individual sport, you realize that anything good and anything bad that happens to you
Is
is
on
because of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this conversation too with Joanna and her two boys, or the two older boys, and they're in jiu-jitsu, right? And I don't know, I think, I don't remember what happened, but the grandma was talking about, like the oldest one, he's so good, this and that. And I'm whatever, he may be good, he may be great, but I don't really
Yeah.
know. So he was telling me, and they call me Buddy, you don't know, I'm so good at jiu-jitsu, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't mean this to be a dick or whatever, but I asked him, I said, oh, you are? I knew what place he took, but I was like, you're the greatest. I'm like, so how did you do it in your last tournament? And he got quiet. I'm like, well, how'd you do? He's like, I took second. I was like, so you're not the greatest.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm only saying that to you because regardless of what you think, somebody proved that they're better than you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's better than you all the time. Maybe he's just been better than you that day.
Right.
But you need to understand, you can't come to me and say you're the greatest until you are on that pedestal and you're number one.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to practice harder. And, he's a little kid,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, whatever.
Good. Go
but,
for it.
But in my mind, to me, that was a learning experience for him because he's been playing team sports. He's on a really good baseball team. He doesn't play a lot, but he's on a really good baseball team. So, obviously he thinks he's good at baseball, which I'm not saying he is or isn't. I just, in his team, he doesn't play that much. But when it comes to individual sports, he may be good, but he's not the best,
Mhm.
And I'm not trying to, that's semantics, obviously, but to me, that taught me, where, winning and losing is important. And, even if you do lose, how do you react to those losses? And, I don't know. To me, I preferred individual sport for my kids growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I don't have any kids, but if I did have kids, I would probably put them more in individual sports than team sports because the truth is you have nobody else to blame but yourself.
Right. And, producer Rick, if he was here, he would probably say the same thing as you because high school track is a team
Wrestling
sport.
is a team sport.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Individually, in every individual
The
aspect
school wins
based off of your small.
whether you won, you got a point, they lost, that goes to the other. So track being the same way, producer Rick was like, nah, individual sports was the best thing. And I don't think that anyone can say one is 100%, it's better than the other. It's opinion. I like the idea of the team sport aspect. And
we could learn something from both aspects. I'm
you're
talking
right,
about
100%. You're right. The Damian Lillard, had he not had the game that he had, that series is still going. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so there is something to the aspect of team sports where, let's say you're the best
LeBron
player
James.
on that team. You're carrying that team. So now that's preparing you to be a leader. And again, for the record, I'm not saying individual sports don't teach this, but there is something to being the leader where everyone looks to you and says, what do we do? All right, I'm going to carry you on my back.
Well, what if you're not that person?
But what if you're not that person?
Then,
I don't
then,
think-
then,
I don't think it detracts you from life. Again, everyone is their own person. You're going to make your own path. Maybe you look at that and you're like, oh, LeBron James is on my little league team. I'm not going to be that. But here are like key things that I've learned from that person that I can carry forward. And I'll give you an example, and this isn't a team sport, but it's more job related. At a previous employer, there was a change in management. Some people left, things were shuffled around, so forth and so on. I then reported to someone who I was equal to before on day one. Day two, they were my boss. Day one, when we were equals, we were working together. I've got this, you've got this, we're gelling. Day two, it became you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And it changed from a lead by example to lead by I told you. And very quickly I said, no, I don't work well, or this is not the environment that I want to work in, where someone is dictating what to do in this interim period.
such a prima donna.
Sure, give it to me. But what it also taught me is, when I am in that situation, do not dictate to people. Hey, you might be reporting to me, but until the dust settles from all of these changes, let's grab this shit together and move forward. If suddenly you were put in charge of your sales department, I would hope that you don't immediately go, I'm not doing sales, I'm telling everybody else to do sales. What I would hope, and I know you well enough, is to say, hey guys, I'm in my office now, but look at all the phone calls I'm making. And not obviously word for word, but look at all the phone calls I'm making. I just closed 65,000. I just closed 8,000. I just closed 2,000, but I also closed 100. Where are we at? Where are we at versus where are you at? So there is something to the team aspect that can be learned. You look and you see, I'm not number one, but I see good traits, I see bad traits. There is something to being somebody who has a great day. And let's say you're not the best player, but you're on fire that day. You're draining threes, whatever it might be. Ron Artest, he was definitely not the best player on the Lakers, Kobe. But in the finals, game 4, was the finals or conference? It might have been conference.
You're talking against Phoenix.
Conference.
Yeah, I think it was game 4, game 5.
We don't get to the finals. Had had Kobe taken that shot from 3, missed.
Bad.
Ron Artest comes down baseline, gets a rebound, puts it back.
We win the game.
Ron Artest was not the best player on the team, but for that day, that moment,
Wheeze!
he was there.
I got my wheeze.
And I think there's certain things that you can glean from that. You can take those moments forever with you. I don't know if there were wrestlers who never won a match. Like, they were just
Probably.
awful. So they never had that one moment that they can rely back on that said, in the right moment I was there, at the right time I took advantage and I did it, and I'm going to take that moment and carry it forward. And in team sports, you have people who never had that either. But sometimes in team sports, you were the reason. You were not the best, but you were the reason that that team won the game or whatever it might have been.
I mean, there's always going to be an exception to anything you talk about.
And-
So, I guess what I'm getting at is when you're in an individual sport, whether you win or you lose, it's really all on you. So those are the kind of situations is when it comes to work, because I'm assuming you're talking about work in like life, is your success is going to be based on what you put in. And that's what I'm getting at. Is because, just like we were talking about earlier about, when we were talking about Candace and the amount of work she put in to get to where she's at, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen just because, it happened because of hard work and dedication. So when it comes to life, and coming from high school to college to, your profession or whatever, for people that want to look at someone and be like, why are they in that position? Or why are they successful? Or what? It's because you don't fucking put in an extra hour of work. You don't put in that extra effort. Excuse me. You don't put in that extra whatever it is. You're an employee, and that's all you are, and that's what you want to be because that's what you choose to be.
Paul George, somebody who I personally think shied away from the limelight of Los Angeles, decided to stay in OKC, and will probably for the rest of his contract in OKC get bounced in the first round.
And he'll probably get a statue in front of the fucking
If you're not willing,
stadium.
I think was it Ford? I think Ford had this saying in one of their commercials: "If you're not the lead dog, the view never changes." And I'm not saying I am a proverbial number 2, and I'm okay with that.
But you know that I think that's self-awareness. That's something that you.
I'm not the captain of
And I'm not always a captain either. I definitely understand. I could be the captain in certain cases, but I also know when to get in line when it's not. I say it's above my pay grade kind of thing. I can't make these decisions kind of thing.
Self-awareness, you were saying, I know that I am a better co-pilot than I am a pilot, but that's where I excel. And I can put myself in a position where my pilot allows me to stretch myself, grow a little bit, and I can be with pilots who are like, no, stay behind me. I don't like the pilots that say stay behind me, but I know that I don't excel as the lead dog, but where I've always found myself is in that niche that is absolutely vital to that captain or whoever it may be. And there's something to that, and I think a lot of people downplay my personality. Oh, well, you know, if you're not Kobe Bryant, if you're not Michael Jordan, then you're a shit player. Well, it's great, but in the history of basketball, you've got 2 killers. Neither one of them had success without a co-pilot. Kobe wasn't successful without Shaq or Powell. Michael wasn't successful without Pippen. Later,
Was that a question or was that
Robin? Not Robin. Rodman.
Well, Pippen was on all 6
He wasn't all, but so I know that I would be far more like Powell if I had to align my personality than Kobe. But you can't tell me that Kobe would have won championships without Powell. So I don't know. Your take? Give me your take on.
No, I don't.
What I just said.
I think that I don't disagree. I think that's just you understanding who you are. Whether you learn that through sports or just through life experiences. I mean, that's only you know that answer.
Yeah.
The question really was.
And I don't think it's one or the other.
Yeah, it could be
It's
both. I just think that sometimes people are just wired a different way, so therefore they go about things differently. Which maybe if I would have never joined an individual sport, I would still feel the same way about it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's possible. But I know there are a lot of people that wrestling is specific because of kind of the grind. When you meet another wrestler, like whether you were great or you sucked, or they were great and they sucked, like there's a certain respect between the two.
You went through it.
Because you know what kind of bullshit you went through.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like any football player is like, you went through 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah, and see, as a wrestler, we laugh at that because that shit's nothing.
Right.
Because that was like a normal workout for us.
Right.
You know? I mean, I can give you an example of me meeting a guy, an outside salesman for a company, and he wrestled. And we had a small conversation about that, and it's just kind of like, you grind, I grind, and we know what we need to do to be successful because of the life that we lived. Mm-hmm. You know, you take that with you. So, I mean, to answer your original question, I don't know. I just, to watch, I prefer to watch team sports.
Okay.
But if I have like a family, I would put my kids in an individual sport because I think that's when they learn the most about themselves.
Self-reliance, so to speak. Yeah, it's, you know, as RJ's getting older, I'm looking at it and I'm like, trying to explain to him and teach him.
I mean, you still do both. You still put them in team sports
100%.
individual sports.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, it's just, I would never choose one over the other. Just like I have tried in my life to learn. I've tried to learn to put on a suit, but I've also tried to learn to put on a work belt. And I think you know me well enough to know that Monday through Friday I can tie a tie. Saturday and Sunday.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to tie a tie. Dude.
Oh no, yeah. But what I'm saying is, from a greater point of view,
That's what I'm talking
from the Renaissance man point of view, is tie a tie Monday through Friday. On Saturday, put on that workout, carry something, build something, do something, learn multiple aspects. Because there's plenty of people out there who can put on a suit, but can't do anything with their hands. And there's plenty of people out there who can do with their hands, but can't do anything with their brain. And, you know, shout out to our group. I think we can all do both.
I'm not ready to go my hands unless it's a woman.
Well, even at that, I think you're better with your drill in your hand.
Today was an interesting conversation.
It's weird.
Not weird. I think I liked it. I like talking business. I mean, I don't know if anybody got anything from this, but if anybody ever wants to hit me up and ask me like any kind of, at least from my point of view, sales questions, like I'm always open to people that I know. So
I can't help you, but if you need help with how to make a Big Mac, hit me up.
all right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later. It's funny when you drop your things,
When I dropped what?
your headphones.
You heard it?